A college is selling essentially a case study of a degree-free billionaire. They're selling these kids paper instead of empowering them to go do what Taylor Swift did, which is learn on her own and build on her own.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to Degree Free. I am super excited. If you're watching the YouTube videos, you notice something's a little bit different. One, I'm in the temporary studio, aka my office, and I have another guest, co-host of this podcast. And we are sharing a camera because it was easier to do it this way. We have the studio with the multi-cameras and the fancy lights and everything like that, but we have been super swamped and we do not have time to set all that up, and we want to get it out to you. We want to keep making this show, so we are doing it the easiest way possible. I wanted to share with you why we've been so busy and why we haven't had time to go into the studio. And I'll just pick it up on my floor right here. Now, if you're listening, I would definitely suggest you go over to YouTube now. I mean, if you're driving, don't
do that.
Park first and then go over to YouTube. This is multiple edits of what is going to be a book, a couple of books, curriculum style books for parents and their young adults, ages 16 to 20, trying to figure out what to do after high school. And we've been working on this thing basically full time for months and months and months. And then on top of actually running the business and making this content and everything like that.
And we're trying to get it done. We're trying our best to get it done by graduation because we know that that's coming up for a lot of people. And it's a big decision point for a lot of people.
You can't buy it yet or anything like that. I don't even have a web page for it. I don't have a name for it. I don't have a cover for it.
We're working on it.
Yeah. But I just wanted to show you that we have been working. We work sometimes.
We do sometimes. Every once in a while.
Yeah. We're going to do something a little bit different for this show. It is something that Hannah has been bugging me for weeks to do. And I finally don't have anything else to talk to you guys about because I've been busy writing this thing that I had to basically give in to this content idea.
So I got my way.
I actually think that this content idea is very good. I think.
I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, the way that I think about it is it's very lazy.
It's fun. But it's fun. He doesn't like fun. He likes to be prepared. So we're going to do the fun thing today.
Right. We are going to do the fun thing today. It's actually, I have a banger for you guys in a second. She hasn't seen what I'm about to show you. And so we're just going to...
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're just going to do like kind of like a react type of thing where we're going to talk about things that are in the news and kind of break it down. I was actually not looking forward to doing this right now, but now that I'm about to show you guys this thing, it's pretty funny. And if you're just listening, you can just listen to, but going to YouTube is going to be a little bit better for this episode. So for a little bit of context before I hit play on this video, one, I came across this as an article and then I clicked in it and then the browser that I use, it did like the article view of it. So I just saw the article and I just read the article and I thought it was funny enough to do a react on just an article. But then I was like, oh, maybe there's a video. And I didn't think there was going to be. And I clicked out of the reader view or whatever. And sure enough, CBS Evening News, they did not disappoint. And here is
I don't know what this is about, but the fact that it was already newsworthy makes me pretty excited.
Here is CBS Evening News talking to us about one of the most recent college courses.
Yes.
In just a few short hours, Taylor Swift will release her much-anticipated 11th studio album, The Tortured Poets Department. But Swift's cultural impact goes far beyond her music and record-breaking tours. It's now entered college classrooms.
Oh, God.
Here's CBS' Jolene Kent.
All the marketing strategies in the world will only work if you have a good product to market.
You might not expect a business school course to begin like this. But at UC Berkeley, Taylor Swift is not just a tortured poet. She's a case study in how to build an empire.
Taylor Swift is
like
revitalized so much of the economy and boosted the local economy everywhere she goes.
Undergrad Sophia Lendahl and Miad Vashala teach artistry and entrepreneurship. Taylor's version.
Her songwriting ability is what gives her
to four fellow students.
They're charging people's parents for this.
Okay,
So many things, you guys.
I think maybe you should say why it is that you're laughing.
This is hilarious. So what is this, a marketing class? What is this?
I think it's business school.
It's business. Oh my God, that's even funnier.
Undergraduates.
So what these kids need to know and what they should be being taught in their marketing class at their, what is this, UC Berkeley? It's got to be. What they should be being taught is that spending money that you don't have instead of going out and honing a craft or building a business or learning something that is actually useful is the best way to get to the point where you create enough value that you can employ people and stimulate the economy. And also, what they don't realize is if you are as good as Taylor Swift is at building a business, eventually NYU will turn around and just give you a college degree for free. That is
Yeah, so that's, you're jumping ahead. Let's keep watching because that's where this got me, which was I did the whole honorary degrees, and I'll link it in the show notes for everybody. That episode where I go over like the marketing of honorary degrees, and Taylor Swift was a recipient of one of those degrees.
Oh, okay. They talk about okay.
Loyal customers, and that's what Taylor has.
There's a reason top institutions are studying that. They know that this is like a trend.
Universities nationwide are teaching the Swift effect in departments from science to gender studies.
Right
So for those not watching, they are aware that she didn't get a degree and then put up a picture of her getting her honorary.
They white labeled the on her. They white labeled the out of Taylor Swift just now.
And they have a picture of her getting her honorary degree. And I don't know if this is honorary. I thought that it was from.
It's from NYU.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was from NYU.
And that's what I found funny about this was that they're like, yeah, she went to college. Like, well,
no, she was just so good that they gave her a degree. That's what happens when you're really good at something.
Yeah.
So the craziest part about this is that these are all kids that want to be marketers or want to be in business. The creative risk they should all be taking is they should be in business or working at a business or just getting a job to learn this instead of sitting in this class. What are the qualifications of the people teaching this class?
That's a great question.
And I only say qualifications because colleges, they're so big on credentialism. What are the credentials of the people that are charging these students to take this marketing class?
I mean, maybe they work for Taylor Swift.
Maybe they work for Taylor Swift, which would be super funny because maybe there would be some value there. But all of this is very interesting. A college is selling essentially a case study of a degree-free billionaire. They're selling these kids paper instead of empowering them to go do what Taylor Swift did, which is learn on her own and build on her own.
Hey there. I hope that you're loving this episode of the Degree Free Podcast. We spend a ton of time every week creating this content for you. So my only ask is you take a quick second to leave a review or a thumbs up on whatever platform you're on. It's one of the best and easiest ways that you can support this podcast. And this simple action can help bring more people into the Degree Free community. At Degree Free, we want to help as many people as we can thrive and succeed without needing a college degree. Your review will be a step in that direction. If you could do this small favor right now, pause this and leave a review. It would truly mean the world to us. Thank you, and back to the show.
I thought this was hilarious when I first saw it, and I was just like, she's degree free. Why are they making a college class for it?
Well, I wonder if they're doing the pre-marketing where they're explaining to them, hey, by the way, this is how she learned all of these things without a college degree, without buying a degree and sitting in these classes and doing this, right? Because she learned it from experience. She learned it from doing. What's interesting about this is I'm willing to bet they're not in this case study that they're doing of her success, breaking down the fact that a large reason that she was successful was because she wasn't sitting in a college classroom paying for paper for years. Instead, she was out doing, she was out building, she was out learning. And truthfully, what they talked about there about her getting back her master record labels was an incredibly savvy business ordeal. And not the original part of it, but that mistake led her to make some very wise decisions down the line. A mistake she wouldn't have made if she had been sitting in a classroom for 4 years.
Maybe not. I'm not sure. One of the reasons why she is who she is, and this is just from somebody who has studied at least a little bit of how she became so popular, especially in the beginning. One of the things is just time in the market.
Yeah, she's been doing it forever.
She's been doing it since she's like 12 years. She's been famous since she's been like 12, 14, something like that. She's been making music and doing this. How old is she now? 32?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years of doing the exact same thing day in and day out. And she just every step of the way, she just kept leveling up. What skills do I need to learn to get to the next level? Okay, now I'm at this level now. How do I get to the next level after that? Okay, well, I'm at this level. How do I get to the next level? And that's just really how anybody, I mean, it's not a secret formula. There's no secret sauce to it. I'm sure there's a bunch of luck to it, and I'm sure there's a crap load of hard work. Sure, absolutely. But really, when it all breaks down to it, to get to that level, I mean, it's just a bunch of, you get to this level, and then you get to this level, and then you get to this level.
Mm-hmm. If you read about her, she's incredibly hardworking. I'm actually not a Swiftie. I'm not particularly a fan, but objectively, she's extremely hardworking, and she's obviously extremely disciplined to get to that level. You have to be. It kind of reminds me of, remember when you told me that story about Leonardo DiCaprio saying that he remembered thinking, oh, maybe I won't be an actor? Or what was the story? Can you tell the story?
I don't know if this story is true. I just read this on the internet. I thought it was funny. And it was somebody saying that Leonardo DiCaprio was talking to him and basically saying like, yeah, I remember when I had self-doubt of like when I thought that I couldn't be an actor and when I thought I couldn't do that, like do this job and perform at this high level. And they were like, oh, how old were you? It was 13.
That's crazy. Can you imagine doubting your career at 13 years old? That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And so, I mean, she's another example of that. I mean, maybe if one of these people just did the same thing, even with this class, hopefully they take all this learning and then they do apply it and then they do whatever it is for 20 years and then they become successful in whatever endeavors that they want to do for 20 years. Hopefully that's the lesson that they're going to learn here. One of the many lessons I hope that they learn.
This kind of takes me down a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I've wondered about this before because the great artists were all apprentice, right? Like Da Vinci and Raphael and Michelangelo, they were all apprentice, very young. That's how they taught great artisans. And there's a school, and I've wanted to do this on the podcast for a while. Eventually we'll get to it, but there's a school in New York called the New York Professional Children's School. And basically what it is a school that allows child actors, child performers to work, but also graduate high school. So they get their high school credits, so they get a diploma when they are done, but they are working full time and the entire school is structured around their work. And I've always wondered, so some crazy people have come out of that school, like Scarlett Johansson graduated from this school. It's very prominent. It's very wealthy. Wealthy people send their kids there, like talented performers, or they want them to be. And I've often wondered if we treated other people and other professions and allowed them that opportunity to work if they so chose, if they wanted to at that age, if we would have people that were much better, much earlier. Because I remember reading about Bill Gates, and when he was young, he was kind of doing the same thing. Around that like 12, 13, he was taking apart computers. And you can't discount that, like time in market, like time with hands-on doing something, that eventually leads to outstanding or outperforming skill, right? Because you see that with all kinds of people. Like performers are a good example of it because you can really see.
Yeah, I think that you get quickly into child labor law.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things that we always take it as a societal norm, but you can see where it's almost like a bell curve of people where very rich people let their kids do that at much earlier ages.
Yeah.
And they get different results.
I don't know about rich people or anything like that, but just to piggyback on what you're saying about the acting profession, especially when you're a child, that is one of those things, talking about child labor laws and stuff, and I'm just some guy on the internet, so I don't really know what I'm talking about here. But if you look at the other professions, the children, I'm saying children because they're children, they can't go and do other work. They can't go, like work in the mines, like you're thinking. Like you're,
the children yearn for the mines.
Like you're thinking of those pictures that you see in black and white of the
dusty kids out of West Virginia in the coal mines.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you look at Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson.
Yeah, I'm like, why is that different?
They were in Harry Potter.
Super early.
They were like 11 years old.
Or like Macaulay Culkin. When he was in Home Alone. He's like, how old is he in that?
Absolutely.
Like 6?
You look at all the Disney Channel stars. They're all
Nickelodeon kids.
They're all working.
And they're allowed
really
to work
young, and they're also working really long days. I mean, yes, there are child laws around actors and times as well, but they're still working very long days.
Yeah.
But it's okay for them to do it as
but
long as
not
there's a camera there.
Right.
Like
So the rule would be so kids can work on things if they want to, as long as they're live streaming. That's the way around it.
Right. And so it's just
is a double standard in society that we're like, oh, well, because they're on a film set, it's totally fine. This is not like, oh, children should all work and labor laws, blah, blah, blah. I just think it's an interesting thing that as a society, we go, yeah, that's totally fine. But if a kid wants to learn how to weld or do something, they're not allowed to do that. I just think that's interesting.
Yeah, or not even weld if you wanted to get hired
as a software developer.
Exactly.
Yeah, same thing.
Can't get hired. You can create your own company.
Right.
You can create your own company. You can be self-employed. You can do all of those things, but you can't be employed.
Like traditionally, if you choose to be so, not like your parents are making you. I have to keep saying that because the YouTube comments are gonna be like, oh my God, they want a child labor. And I'm like, no, I just want kids who want to do that. At the same but also it is child labor.
Well, at the same time, how do they know whether or not they do or don't want to do something too? Right.
Right. It's the same thing with child actors.
They're not able to make their own medical decisions. How are they able to make their own employment decisions?
It's a whole twisty thing, but I just think it's interesting though, because again, that New York Professional Children's School I've always found that fascinating that they're allowed to do that, but other kids don't have the same ability to do that with other types of work that they want to pursue. And it's not the same. And I don't understand why.
Yeah, me neither. Anyway, that's my first one. Let us know how I did on that. Go to YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know if that was a good one. I want to gauge what you guys like and don't like. Definitely do that. All right, what do you got?
Okay, so what I got is on a video. Do you want to pull it up? I can pull up the article.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you remember how the 2023 NCES data estimated the cost of a bachelor's degree at $104,000. Remember that? Sure. It's the Education Data Initiative sum up of the NCES and the BLS data from last year.
Yeah, so NCES.
National Center for Education Statistics, and then the Bureau of Labor Statistics for everyone's reference.
Yes,
sorry. It's also a mouthful to say, and I always stumble over it. So NCES data from last year said the average cost of a bachelor's degree in the U.S. is $104,000.
Was it 2023 though?
Yes, 2023.
Okay.
And then if you go for 5 years, which most college graduates go for 5.5 years, it's $156,000 on average. The average total estimated cost with interest, lost wages, and all that stuff, because you lose out on the money you would make, that high school graduates make. You lose out on that money while you're in school. They estimated and wrapped this all up, and their total estimate for the cost was $500,000. It was $500,000.
So that's cost plus opportunity cost.
Right. So total cost, like total all in, everything that you lose, essentially. I mean, it's Vanderbilt, okay? So I'm going to preface this with it's Vanderbilt, so obviously it's going to be expensive. But a newly admitted Vanderbilt University engineering student was quoted an all-in price of, do you want to guess how much per year they quoted this kid?
I am going to say Vanderbilt 65,750. Final answer.
That is cute. Try $98,426 per year. This kid's bachelor's degree is going to cost $400,000, and that is his initial cost. That is not his opportunity cost, which we know to be $500,000. So let's just conservatively add in his actual $500,000 cost. He's about to pay $1 million over if he takes out loans. I'm not going to do public math on like the interest for that because I don't know. I think the average interest is 8.2%. The last time I checked is average student loan debt interest. We'd have to do wages over years, but $1 million for an engineering degree. What job is he going to get that's going to pay that off? I mean, he'd have to work for, I don't know. I don't even know who he could work for.
Yeah,
he'd make enough money to pay that off.
It's the interest that would probably kill him.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it's like more than
depending. I mean, if he does a good job and he goes in, what kind of engineering?
I don't know. It just says engineering. It doesn't even say like the specific
computer science type of thing, or I mean, I don't know.
Let's check.
Like, let's just say I don't know. Doesn't matter. But let's just say that he is fortunate enough to get a job at a big company and make $500,000 a year, which puts him.
He'd have to be at a big five, right? I mean, he'd have to.
Which puts him in the 1% of earners. To be a 1% earner in the United States, you have to make $400,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I've been wrong before. So let's just say that he's fortunate. I mean, still at that level, I'm assuming that he's living in a city because those are usually the incomes that cities demand. And then if you're living in a city, you probably have a high cost of living at the same time because San Francisco, for example, I mean, there are so many people in San Francisco that make $250,000 a year, which is like in the top 10% or
Of earners.
5% of earners.
Yeah,
But they're living paycheck to paycheck.
right.
Because
Because California is going to take half of it from them. Yeah. By the time they're all said and done.
Well, and then at the same time, like a lot of it's their own fault too. Like you don't live in San Francisco.
Right.
Like you know.
But then if that's where the jobs are and that's where you got to go to make that much money, there's that whole cost of living versus inflation and all that stuff. But you're right, because then too, so he goes there, let's say he goes there, he gets a $400,000 a year job. He's going to end up with paying over his lifetime $1 million in student loans and debt and lost wages. So he's got $400,000. Let's say California takes half off the top, right? He's at $200,000 now. And now he's $200,000 in at a major city. And then hopefully he never wants, I don't know, to buy a house or have a family or anything like that. That's gonna be tough.
You're getting dangerously close to doing a bunch of public math, which
I'm not going to do it. I'm just
against my religion.
Instead, I'm going to go over the most expensive colleges in the U.S. right now. Okay, so we have Tufts University, which is $95,000 a year. University of Southern California, which is $95,000 a year. New York University, $93,000 a year. University of Pennsylvania, $92,000 a year. And then Wesley College, $92,000 a year. Yale, $90,000, and then Boston University, $90,000 a year. I wanted to tell you that because there are people on TikTok who are like, "What are you talking about? College is not that expensive." And then, yes, it is. It is, and people just don't realize that it keeps continually going up because they just keep raising the price and people keep paying it. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's crazy. $100,000 a year for a degree. I'm very, very, very grateful that mine was not that expensive. One, I wouldn't have paid that amount of money. And then two, I got zero utility out of that degree. So that would have made me cry more than I've already cried over my spilled milk. That is the time and effort it was to get my degree. Yeah.
Oh man.
We don't have a plan. We get really deep.
What have we done? How many people we pissed off today? We got child labor laws and
Swifties. You said you weren't a Swiftie.
I'm not a Swiftie.
What an insane thing to say. Why would you say that? Like you could just be silent.
Are you profiling me?
You could just
assumed.
No, I'm just saying you could be silent, and then they wouldn't come after you. But now, I mean,
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Yeah, it's terrifying.
You're on a watch list now. I'm gonna have to edit that out.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Guys, I am a Swiftie.
He is. He is. Yeah. Hey, I'm just.
Come for her. Leave me alone.
It's Carrie Underwood for me, folks. Okay.
Yeah. She's my girl.
I've been waiting all day
for a Sunday night.
Yep, it's true. Waiting all week. Waiting all night.
Waiting all day.
Waiting all day.
Waiting all week. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Embarrassing.
Break me up a piece of that fancy feast. Okay. Anyway, we're having too much. I told you we would have.
All right. Second to the last thing.
I'm sorry.
I have one more, but go hard.
Okay. All right. I actually wrote a headline for this. The actual headline is "Break into AI with these schools offering master's degrees in artificial intelligence." And I fixed the headline to "Colleges try to gatekeep a technology a degree-free guy pioneered," because I think that's more accurate. Thank you. I worked on it for 10 seconds. Okay, so what I have here are 5 colleges that are trying to sell access to a technology that a degree-free guy pioneered and created. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Sam Altman is degree-free. That is the CEO founder of OpenAI, which is currently the largest AI tool in the world. So anyway, big fan of that. And also for those of you that don't know, I actually currently work at an AI and machine learning company. So I care about this kind of a lot, actually. Duke University currently selling master's degrees in AI. The reason I wanted to talk about this too was because all of these degrees just started existing. They just started these degree programs. These degree programs did not exist because colleges cannot keep up with the speed of technology in general because they are constrained to how quickly they can develop and then sell something, and they're slow because they're not very good at it. Because of that, it took them a while to get this all together. What was interesting about this was the fact that this article talks about how you need, at the bottom, there's FAQs, and it tells you that you need a master's degree in order to get a job working in AI, which is hilarious because if you look at the open job listings at Notion or Anthropic, none of the job listings for research engineers, research scientists, or AI developers require college degrees because those college degrees did not exist 5 minutes ago. And colleges are already saying, oh, by the way, come pay us for Duke's. It's $100,000 for an online course at Duke. That, by the way, if you want to just Google open source AI machine learning curriculum Reddit, there is a Redditor who has put together an entire open source curriculum where you can learn these skills on your own time for $0. So big fan of that. What's funny about it is when I read through the curriculum for a lot of these master's programs, they are almost word for word. Some of them even require you to be enrolled in a Python bootcamp, which is also linked in the open source Reddit curriculum, to the point where I wonder if they just took that curriculum and then broke it down. Anyway, that was what I wanted to tell you was colleges are trying to sell for $100,000 a curriculum you can get on Reddit for $0. So anyway, that was fun. All right, and back to you, Ryan.
We called it on this show a while ago that this is exactly what was going to happen. And they were going to start to create these programs and try to paywall these professions or these credentials and say it is necessary to get these jobs, which is funny because one of the biggest comments that you and I get is that when we say, oh, colleges are saying that you should buy this piece of paper to then get a job. And then the most common thing that people say to that is, no, they don't say that. They literally don't say that. They just say, come here for the education. Mm-hmm. And like, you're not going to get a job from this. I don't know what these people are smoking, because that's not true at all. Or
I'd love some of it though, because the delusion's great.
Not in my world. But this is a direct thing. As you said, it says you need a degree in this to work in that field. But you're saying that all of the people right now that are currently working in that field
or built that field, quite literally,
that don't have those degrees aren't working in that field. The logic literally isn't there.
Yep.
Like, so you're saying, oh, they just shouldn't be allowed to work in that field. Got it. But they are working in that field. So since they are able to work in that field, then you don't need the degree.
Correct.
Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't work for my logic. Oh, because your logic doesn't exist. Right. Like it literally is not logical.
Yep. So all we can do is hope that those people aren't trying to build large language models, because then we're going to be in big trouble. If you don't have any logic, it's probably not a good idea to try to build something that's entirely logic based.
Pretty fair.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think we have time for one more thing. Hold on. We'll be back, folks. I wanted to bring this up. I will put a link to this exact moment in the show notes, degreefree.co/podcast. I'm not going to play it because that would be crazy.
No, you should. It's like Inception.
It's a clip of me interviewing Hannah right here. And it is...
No, just play it.
September 13th, 2023. I say here, I'll just play it. Yeah.
Just play it.
Got her. Also, I'm really excited because this is something that we've never done before. I actually got this idea because
I see how it sounds. No?
Interviewed my grandfather. I did a podcast episode with him. It's more of a personal thing. It's not really degree-free related at all, so I won't be releasing it or anything like that. But I did.
I see it now.
And I was like, wow, this was awesome. I got to connect with him on a different level. And I was like, wait, I don't think I've ever interviewed Hannah before. And because she is degree-free, and she is the other half to this show and to what we do here, I was like, you know what? She should come on and I should interview her. So, okay. That part right there is the part in question for what is about to be one of these comments here.
Which, when he read this comment to me before, I didn't think it was that bad, but now that we won't.
It's not even that bad. It's not bad.
No, not the comment, but I mean, like, I was like, wow, that's a really crazy take but now that I watch the clip, I'm like, okay, I can see it all.
I get it. If you don't watch the show, I mean, I get it. It's from somebody who obviously doesn't watch.
Yeah, doesn't watch, yeah.
This is from Tiger Green. This is something we've never done before. LOL. What? She's your wife. You've literally been interviewing her since the first episode. Why are you pretending you're so excited, quote, to talk to her? This sounds like something you just got from a cheesy 1970s marketing book. Pretend like you're incredibly excited even when there's nothing new, and act like your co-host /wife is a special guest.
I I wanted to go get like the 7. What's the book? The 7 Effective Ways of Marketing. We do have a 1970s marketing book on the table now.
Yeah.
But then we didn't get this from that.
Yeah. Pretend that's your
The effective executive.
Pretend that
Interview
your podcast host. Pretend that your podcast host isn't your podcast host. Be super excited about it.
We should write a book of just crappy marketing tips or all things like that.
If you haven't listened to that episode, I suggest you listen to that episode. It does show from Hannah's perspective and from my perspective as well. It does show how quickly your life can turn around. It does show how quickly, like if your child is graduating high school, how quickly their life can turn around. And with, going from for job seekers or for young adults, going from I don't have a direction to my life is totally changed. And so if you haven't listened to that episode, I'll link it in the show notes, degreefree.co/podcast. Definitely listen to it. But one, to respond to that person's comment, if you listen to the show, I don't actually interview you.
No, don't. You interview other people?
Yeah, I don't interview. We don't talk about it.
No, we do episodes where we talk about subjects, where we break stuff down. Sometimes we talk about news and stuff. You had not interviewed me before.
Yeah, I never said, like, I'm going to give you uninterrupted mic time just for you to tell your story. Never done that.
Yeah, and I've never told it to you in that way as a storyteller, actually, because you were there. You lived it. But we got some different perspectives out of talking over it that way, and it was kind of exciting because we'd never done it before.
And like I said in that clip, and maybe you couldn't hear it because we were laughing, but I really did get this idea from interviewing my grandfather. That interview changed my life in a really profound way. And I thought that it was really cool to do it here. Or I don't know if I said it in the podcast. I think I did. And I've told you before, I lived it.
Mm-hmm.
I lived.
Yeah, we did that whole thing together.
Being with you during that time. But I wasn't able to ask you the questions that I had then. And I wasn't able to get your perspective on those types of things. And for those people that have never done this type of thing, that have never taken a mic and had this, I don't know what else to call it other than like an interview host or a interviewee type of relationship with somebody close in their life when you're experiencing something together, it is really, really special. And there's a lot of other places that you can go because the mic and the cameras and the recording lets you wander. And it lets you ask different questions and it puts you in a different mind space than being able to just ask stuff at the dinner table or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've watched it back, especially being recorded here, valid take if you've never watched. I mean, valid take regardless. I mean, it's your opinion.
Your take is your take.
Yeah, your take is your take. It's your opinion. Good for you. Valid take if you've never watched any of our episodes and this is the first one that you've watched. Valid take if you've watched all of them, whatever. But I saw this and I thought it was really, really funny. And obviously I thought it was funny the second time that I've seen this. I think that's pretty much it for this week. Next week, I actually have a bunch of stuff. I've been saying this for weeks, but I actually have a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. I had a bunch of things to talk to you about, or at least to you, the listener and the viewer.
We don't have anything to talk about. We're married. And so he's heard everything I have to say ever.
But I wanted her to be here and I wanted us to be in the studio and have a little bit more time to like talk about the things that I want to talk about, which is why we didn't do it this week. Hopefully we have some time in this upcoming week to sit down and record that episode for you because I think that one's going to be really awesome. I got to tell you guys all about my trip where I met Drake and some of the realizations from that trip and conversations that I had. It was pretty awesome. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. I think that's pretty much it. You have anything else?
No, we're just writing a book. We're going to get it to you as soon as we can.
Yeah, we're going to get that book out to you folks as soon as we can. Eventually it'll be on pre-order, the whole thing. Like I said, I don't have an ask for you right now because I have to finish writing it. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Till next week, guys. Aloha.